query 6 on page 36 is asking for all employees that are non-salaried to show their total number of hours worked per employee for any given week number that the user enters. So we will go to the Create tab, Query Design. To get this information, again, we will need all three tables. Again, we need to tie these tables together. Now the first thing they asked for was last name, employee table, last name. Here we want the first name as well, so employee table, first name. Okay, on the hours worked, we can choose the hours worked table, then the week number. Now here we want the user to be able to select what week they want on the fly. So this query can produce a report for any week that the user desires. So here in the criteria, in the brackets, we're going to put enter week number. That is going to be the question asked to the user when this query is run, and whatever the user enters, that's what's going to be used for the criteria. So if I enter week 3, it's going to look for only for records for week 3. Then on the hours worked table, we want the hours field. This is going to show the hours for the employee that's been selected. And then we want to know whether or not that employee is salaried or not. So on the wage data, we're going to choose salaried field, and we want to say that we want anyone who is not salaried. So we type in no. Now we can close this out. When we run it, it's going to ask us for a week. Notice it says enter week number just as we specified. I'm going to enter 2 as the book tells you to do to check your work. And when I do that, I get the following report, which is just as the book described. Actually, there is one minor difference here, and since I did forget to do it, it's a good time to see how we can edit queries. And if I did this on a previous query, you can still go back and change it just as I'm going to change it here. Select your query in the queries list. You can right click it and choose Design View. Now what I did that I did not mean to do was I should have unchecked the show checkbox on salaried, because we don't want to see that box, because they're going to all be unchecked because we are only wanting non-salaried workers. So there's no point in showing that because they would all be exactly the same on the report. So I'll uncheck that. I will close it. It will ask me if I want to save. I say yes. It will not ask me to rename the query that time, because it only does that the first time you save. And then when I double click, I will enter week 2 again, and this time I get the same data, except I do not get the salaried column because all of these are non-salaried workers.